So this is Middensbury, the village where the scenario takes place. You see there's a lot of villagers going about their daily business, and they're not aware that these two characters here in the centre of the village are actually a Chaos Sorcerer and his assistant. So you've got Thargul and Jarek here. So they're under the influence of some sort of dark magic where they just basically look like two other villagers. And what they're going to try and do, they're going to try and work their way around the village and inflicting some of that dark magic on the villagers to try and turn them, to try and make some allies, because there's a gang of bounty hunters on their way. There's a big price on Thargul's rather tentacled head, and they're coming to claim it. So after 6 turns, we'll find out how many allies Thargul and Jarek have. They also might make some enemies, because not all the attempted conversions are going to be successful as well. And there's a potential that they're going to discover an undercover witch hunter here in the village, and that's going to create some problems for them too. So if you've ever played Song of Blades and Heroes before, you'll know that it's a stick based system, if that's the word for it, rather than a measuring tape. So you've got short, medium and long sticks used to measure things like movement and range for shooting and stuff like that as well. So what I was thinking was we could use the medium sized stick to determine the range for conversion spells. So each of these villagers, they've got slightly different statistics when it comes to how easy or how difficult it will be to convert them, to win them over to chaos, if that's the right term. But yeah, I'm thinking if Thargul is within the medium range, then we'll roll as normal. But if they're out with that range, that roll could get more difficult. It's going to be harder to convert them. Likewise, we've got the short stick, so maybe if Thargul gets right up to somebody, it's going to be much easier to inflict that magic on them as well. So the way an attempted conversion works is that each villager has a split stat, and like I say, these all differ. Some of these characters, the drunk guy, the jester, the furtive guy with the sack, they're all more susceptible to being persuaded to the ways of chaos, whereas some of the upstanding village members, they're going to be a bit of a tougher nut to crack. So I've got this split stat. If you've played Kings of War before, you'll be kind of familiar with this, but a split stat, it's, for example, 10/15. So when we try to convert one of these villagers, if they've got the 10/15 stat, on a roll of 1 to 9 on a d20, Thulgar's spell is failed and the villager is now hostile. On a roll of a 10 to 14, the spell is unstable, and then we're going to roll on what I've created. It's called the Unstable Magic Conversion Table. That name rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? On a roll of 15 to 20, the spell is a full success and the villager is now under Thulgar's control until the end of the game, or until they're killed. So let's have a look at this aptly named Unstable Magic Conversion Table. So when we try to convert one of these villagers over to the Ways of Chaos, and we don't know if the spell's a success just yet, we need to roll another d20. So on a roll of 1 to 2, the villager dies. The villager succumbs to the chaos or stress of the situation and dies. On a roll of 3 to 4, villager becomes hostile. The villager's encounter with chaos has driven them into a frenzy, and they become hostile to everyone, including your characters and other villagers. On a roll of 5 to 6, a temporary conversion, the villager converts to your side, but only for a limited duration, lasting for d4 turns. On a roll of a 7 to 8, villager transforms into a rat. The villager undergoes a bizarre transformation, turning into a rat. You gain full control of this peculiar rat, which may have its uses in the future. This is a one-time outcome, so you would re-roll this result in the future. On a roll of 9 to 10, the villager transforms into a chaos spawn. The chaos taint within the villager fully emerges, transforming them into a chaos spawn under your control. Roll a d6 to determine the spawn's quality and another d6 to determine its combat rating. So like I say, this is predominantly designed for Song of Blades and Heroes. So you've mainly got two stats when it comes to your miniatures in this game. You've got a quality score and a combat score. And you could see that with the Chaos Spawn, this is a very chaotic way to determine its rating. Like if you were to roll a 1 for quality and a 6 for combat, it would basically, this would be like a god, like a completely unbeatable character. But you know, likewise, it could be a rather pathetic character too. So I just like that randomness. Like it has the opportunity to go completely either way, or just, you know, a bit mundane. So that's a roll of 9 to 10. Next we've got a roll of 11 to 12. Villager enters a trance. The villager enters a mysterious trance, revealing vital information about the situation or the surrounding area. They share this crucial knowledge with your characters before passing away. Reduce the amount of bounty hunters that are going to arrive after turn 6 by a d4 number. So this is a one-time outcome as well. Reroll this result in future. So like I say, this is all leading up to the second part of the game, which is the arrival of the bounty hunters, and they could either be controlled by the game's AI, if you like, you know, if you're doing a solo game, or if you've got another player, they could take on the role of the bounty hunters when those arrive. On a roll of 13 to 18, so you see you've got a bit more chance of rolling this, the villager fully converts. The villager undergoes a moment of intense mental deliberation and then fully converts to your side, becoming a valuable addition to your warband. I guess that remains to be seen whether they'll be valuable or not, but helping hands are welcome, or going to be welcome. 19 to 20, the villager opens a chaos portal. In a chaotic twist, the villager somehow becomes a portal to the realm of chaos, inadvertently unleashing a greater demon. Control the demon, but be wary of its formidable powers. So you've got to pass a quality test each turn, or the demon's going to be hostile to you, as well as the rest of the villagers and any other character on the board as well. So that'll be challenging to keep the demon on your side, basically, should that arrive in the game. So the final thing that I'm kind of working on is the role of the witch hunter. So there is an undercover witch hunter in this village, and basically the way I'm planning to do it at the moment is that there'll be a deck of cards, and there'll be a card for every villager on the table, and each time you attempt a conversion, the first thing you're going to have to do is draw from this deck of cards, and there'll be one card in there, the Joker card, because I'm just using a standard deck of cards. If you draw the Joker card, you've basically attempted to convert this undercover witch hunter, who's then going to reveal themselves, and that's going to cause problems for you as Thulgar, as the Chaos player. Some of the things that I've came up with so far, potential ideas here, you may choose to reduce the number of turns until the bounty hunters arrive. So at the moment you've got 6 full turns to try and gain as many allies as you can. That might, you know, be cut to 3 because the witch hunter's now in play. You might choose to increase the number of bounty hunters who arrive. So I think at the moment it was something like 5. Maybe you'll bump that up a bit, or you know, maybe your default number of bounty hunters will be 3 and that will be put up to 5. So that's another option. Another option yet again, turn another d6 number of villagers hostile to Thulgar and Jarek. So it might just create more enemies on the board for them in play at the moment. You might choose to reduce Thulgar's stats or abilities, just make him an overall weaker character, which is going to be quite a punishment, especially when it comes to fighting these bounty hunters that eventually arrive. Or you could choose to increase the difficulty of everyone's conversion stats. So it might just be harder overall to convert each villager, to win any more friends and allies. So that's what I'm thinking at the moment. That's some of the ideas that I've got for this witch hunter dynamic in the game.